जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय. Actually, I'm seeing it's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके. ॐ ज्ञानातिमिन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. कृपा सिन्धुर्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Vishnupadaya Krishna Vastu Bhagavad Jai Swami Suratharavas Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vastu Bhagavad Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurani Prachadini Nisheshwar Mukham Karoti Vachalam Tangham Nandayate Kiriyate Shri Guru Devi. So this is the last chapter of perfection of renunciation. So now this chapter 18 is a summary. It's a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we have learned, we are going to very quickly go through everything. Arjuna uvacha sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichami veditum yagasya cha rishikesha pritakeshi nishudana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyag, and of the renounced order of life, sannyas, O killer of the Keshadim and master of the senses. All right, Anupama, Madhavi, you can read.
Hare Krishna, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is finished in 17 chapters. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. In every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. This same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service, yogi nam api sarvesham. Of all yogis of transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature and activity were discussed. In the third 6 chapters, knowledge, renunciation, the activities of material nature and transcendental nature, and devotional service were described. It was concluded that all acts should be performed in conjunction with the Supreme Lord, represented by the words Om Tat Sat, which indicate Vishnu, the Supreme Person. The third part of Bhagavad Gita has shown that devotional service and nothing else is the ultimate purpose of life. This has been established by citing past acharyas and the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra. Certain impersonalists consider themselves to have a monopoly on the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra. But actually, the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service. For the Lord Himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and He is its knower. That is described in the 15th chapter. In every scripture, every Veda, devotional service is the objective. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. As in the second chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. In the 18th chapter, also the summary of all instruction is given. The purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of the transcendental position above the three material of fortune. Arjuna wanted to clarify the two distinct subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, namely renunciation, tyaga, and the renounced order of life, sannyasa. Thus, he is asking the meaning of these words. Two words used in this verse to address the Supreme Lord, Rishikesha and Nisudana, are significant. Rishikesha is Krishna, the master of all senses, who can always help us attain mental serenity. Arjun requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. He therefore addresses Krishna as Keshi Nishudana. Keshi was the most formidable demon who was killed by the lords. Now Arjun is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mataji got disconnected, no?
She's not there.
Yeah, Mataji went. No.
Sorry.
Mataji can't hear you. Can you hear her, Mataji?
No. She's no longer in the room also.
Again, I went off. My internet is unstable. All right, so this is the summary in our text. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Rahustyagam Vichakshanaha. Yes, Anupama Mishra. Both Anupama are here today. So we have said number 1, number 2.
Hare Krishna. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyasa, and giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyaga. Purport: the performance of activities for results has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. But activities leading to advanced spiritual knowledge are not to be given up. This will be made clear in the next verses. In the Vedic literature, there are many prescriptions of methods for performing sacrifice for some particular purpose. There are certain sacrifices to perform to attain a good son or to attain elevation to the higher planets, but sacrifices prompted by desires should be stopped. However, sacrifice for the purification of one's heart or for advancement in the spiritual science should not be given up.
Yes. So we understand what is Tyag and what is sannyas. What is sannyas and what is okay, Anupama Mishra, can you tell me?
Like giving up of activities based on material desire, that is sannyasa.
Mm.
And giving up the results of these activities
Hmm.
is called renunciation.
Yeah. All right. All right. Hmm. So sannyas and tyag. I see. Actually, because the English word is not proper, so we are not able to understand properly. So therefore, we'll just stick to sannyas and tyag. All right. Otherwise, sannyas we say renounce order, right? Isn't it? So now, just remember these two words, sannyas and tyag.
Mataji, last class you taught us Om Tat Sat, and that small story you said, I've been meditating on it. Like whatever happens, happens. Krishna wants it that way, right? We should not work for any result.
Okay, I
Even if
forgot.
there is a problem,
Hmm.
you
Forgot what I said. You'll have to remind me.
you gave the example, two examples, Mataji, you had given. One, you said that there was a man carrying puffed rice on his head, and then the wind came and blew it away, and then he offered it to Govinda, Om Govinda.
Yeah.
And the other example you had said that you were taking care of your laptop and you found so many projects which you and the team had worked upon and it didn't fructify. But still Krishna gives the result.
Right, so now text 3. Tyajam dosha vaditiyeke karma praho manishinaha yagyadana tapa karma na tyajam niti chakare. Yeah, Madhavi.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as filthy. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. There are many activities in the Vedic literature which are subjects of contention. For instance, it is said that an animal can be killed in a sacrifice, yet some maintain that animal killing is completely abominable. Although animal killing in a sacrifice is recommended in the Vedic literature, the animal is not considered to be killed. The sacrifice is to give a new life to the animal. Sometimes the animal is given a new animal life after being killed in the sacrifice, and sometimes the animal is promoted immediately to the human form of life. But there are different opinions among the sages. Some say that animal killing should always be avoided, and others say that for a specific sacrifice it is good. All these different opinions on sacrificial activity are now being clarified by the Lord Himself. Hare Krishna.
Right. So what to do, what is sacrifice, what is not sacrifice. So an animal can be killed in a sacrifice, and others say that animal killing is completely abominable. So we know about all this, right? This animal killing, this is given. We know about this. All right. Then text 4. Nishchayam shrinu me tatra yage bharata sattama yago hi purusha vyagra vividha samprakyirtitaha. O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of 3 kinds. All right, now let's listen to this. Again, this is a revision. Although there are differences of opinion about renunciation, here the Supreme Person, Godhead Shri Krishna, gives his judgment, which should be taken as final. After all, the Vedas are different laws given by the Lord. Here, the Lord is personally present, and his word should be taken as final. The Lord says that the process of renunciation should be considered in terms of the modes of material nature in which they are performed. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, penance purify even a great sin. So yagya, dana, tapa, karma, na tyajam karyam eva tat. Yagyo danam tapascheva pavani manishinam.
Pavanani.
So, pavanani manishinam. So, what is not to be given, meaning tyag. So we can renounce many things, that we cannot renounce sacrifice, charity, and penance. Yagya, dan, and tapa. Tapaha. Yagya means sacrifice, dan is charity, tapaha is penance. Okay. The yogi should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is called Vivaha Yagya. Should a sannyasi who is in the renounced order of life and who has given up his family relation encourage the marriage ceremony? The Lord says here that any sacrifice which is meant for human welfare should never be given up. Vivaha Yagya, the marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate the human mind so that it may become peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, this Vivaha Yagya should be encouraged even by persons in the renounced order of life. Sannyasi should never associate with women, but that doesn't mean that one who is in the lower stages of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in a marriage ceremony. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the supreme law. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. If charity is given to suitable persons, as described previously, it leads one to advanced spiritual life. So meaning a young man should get married and sannyasi shouldn't get married, right? So they should renounce the Vivaha Samskar, Yagya, Vivaha Yagya. Sannyasi should renounce the Vivaha Yagya. And a young man, he can definitely accept the Vivaha Yagya. In the lowest minutes. So yeah. But similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. So why we should give donation, charity? So because it purifies the heart, otherwise we just become greedy, we want to hold on, we don't give. So we must give. Charity is for the purification of the heart. If charity is given to suitable persons, as described previously, it leads one to advanced spiritual life. So, Grihastha, this is their main duty to give in charity, because grihastha, they earn. And if they don't give, then they will accumulate. Ati ahara, ati ahara, ati ahara. So therefore it is prescribed that they should give in charity. So tyag, this is karma tyag. What we read it? Karma phala tyag, not karma tyag, but karma phala tyag. See, Sanskrit is such a, I said karma tyag, and I said this is not correct. You can't stop working it. Karma phala tyag. But karma, which is kaamyanam, karma that is full of kaam, this should be given up. एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतम् उत्तमम्. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty or sanapritha. That is my final opinion. Although all sacrifices of purifying one should not expect any result by such performances. In other words, all sacrifices which are meant for material advancement in life, should be given up. But sacrifices that purify one's existence and elevate one to the spiritual plane should not be stopped. Everything that leads to Krishna consciousness must be encouraged. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said that any activity which leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. That is the highest criterion of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, or charity which will help him in the discharge of devotional service.
Mataji, can I ask a question, Mataji?
I'm just reading this again. In Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said that any activity which leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. That is the highest criterion of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, or charity which will help him in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord. Yes.
Mataji, there are times, Mataji, where I'm in a dilemma that whether I do this service or whether I do this service, devotional service. So on what basis should I choose? Like the casing example I can give of today evening. I was at a kirtan, okay, at the center here, and the kirtan was going on, and plus I wanted to attend your class. Okay. The kirtan was supposed to, and it's a half an hour, 45-minute journey by cab. It is so far. Yes.
One
So
minute.
45 minutes by cab to my place.
Oh.
So it's quite far. So the reason I got up in the middle of the kirtan, and then I was feeling bad also because the GBC head was singing and he was singing and I was absorbed in it. But I still didn't want to miss your class.
Oh.
The argument I had in my mind, Mataji, was that where will I attain more mercy? Will I hear Harinam or should I hear my Siksha Guru speaking to me? So let me go to my Siksha Guru. So I left Harinam and I came here.
Oh, well, I can't
How
say.
do I choose things, that I...
No idea. Follow your heart. But 45 minutes was in the cab, right? Did you chant or read? What did you do in 45 minutes?
So I was singing and preaching to that person, Mataji.
Oh, so wonderful.
Yes. So, and he also said another thing, which actually made me give him the book. He said, faith can never be 99%. It has to be 100%. Then it is faith. He said, I've met so many people and they say it may happen. This did not happen to me. But I believe faith has to be 100%. Then it is faith. So I met him on the way. And then I came and I attended your class. I'm attending your class. But I always face this dilemma that where should I be right now?
Oh, well, that I can't answer. Everything is devotional service, right? But if it's something sense gratification, then there is no hesitation, right? Here, this is what Prabhupada is saying. If we know something is just sense gratification, then we should give it up to do the proper thing, right? Okay, let's read on. Excellent. Niyatasya pi sannyasa karmano no papadyate mohattasya parityagas tamasa parikirtitah. Prescribed duties should never be renounced, okay? Prescribed duties, meaning that it's prescribed by who?
By the
Prescribed-
Varnashram Dharma.
Yes, meaning by Krishna. Krishna says he has made this Varnashram Dharma and the prescribed duties have been given. Right? Like a husband should take care of the wife and the children. The mother should take care of the children. The children should be obedient to their parents and be disciplined. Right? So many, all these duties. Then the sannyasi should not enter the viva yagya. Right? Once you graduate, right, you can't do so prescribed duty, meaning you do your own work according to your own level. All right. So prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of work for material satisfaction must be given up. Activities which promote one to spiritual activity like cooking for the Supreme Lord and offering the food to the Lord and then accepting the food are recommended. It is said that a person in the renounced order of life should not cook for himself. Cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Supreme Lord is not prohibited. Similarly, a sannyasi may perform a marriage ceremony to help his disciple in the advancement of Krishna consciousness. If one renounces such activities, it is to be understood that he's acting in the mode of darkness. The Prabhupada performed the marriage ceremony for his disciples. But once he had trained disciples, then he stopped doing it. While it was needed, he did it. You understand this? For Krishna's service, he did it, but it's not, sannyasis are not to do the sacrifices, the Vedic ceremony, this Viva Samskar, right? Viva Yagya. So he did it because there was nobody, just nobody who knew about this. So he did it. Once he had qualified devotees, they trained them what to do, grihastas, he stopped. Text 8. Dukam ityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhaya tyajat sakritva rajasam tyagam devatva phalam labhat. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Right. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he's performing fruitive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by rising early in the morning one can advance his spiritual Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation. So, to give up one's prescribed duty as troublesome or out of your bodily discomfort. You know, I'm like, I have to get up early to cook for Krishna and send my children, to school, my husband to work. If the woman is saying, it's, to relax and then manage their own thing, right? You manage your own thing. Now just sit and relax in bed. You know, you should be very careful. To be extremely careful. I'm just giving this. I don't know why that example popped into my mind. You know, usually mothers don't do that. Mothers, they will get up. If the child is start getting up early, she will get up and make sure she has a hot bath and she has food, right? Usually, they do this automatically. Motherhood is such a beautiful, wonderful status. It's sannyas actually, right? It's actually sannyas. You sacrifice your own pleasure to take care of your child. Next one. Karyami yatyeva yat karmanyatam kriyatenjuna sangam tyakva phalam chaiva satyaga sadvikum padmataha. Oh Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the truth, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. So now, description is given of renunciation in goodness, passion, and ignorance. So prescribed duties must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for the result. He should be dissociated with the modes of work. A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna. And when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendentally. Nadvistya kushalam karma, kushalena nusajjate, yagi sattva samavishto, medhavi chinna samshayaha. Yes, Anupama Madhvi.
Hare Krishna, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work, nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. A person in Krishna consciousness or in the mode of goodness does not hate anyone or anything which troubles his body. He does not work in the proper place and at the proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person situated in transcendence should be understood to be most intelligent and beyond all doubts in his activities.
Yeah, you read the next word?
Mataji, on this, can I ask something, Mataji?
Yeah.
Today I was hearing Guru Maharaj and he was answering a question to somebody who was saying that, I do devotional work, but I give it up. And, because it becomes cumbersome. So Guru Maharaj was explaining that when Nishtha is there when you get fixed up and you want to do devotional service. Okay. But Ruchi is when you do devotional service and you don't get tired. And it travels. So I found it very this thing that still now, Mataji, I feel sometimes troubled and tired. So Ruchi stage is when there'll be no trouble.
I'm sure all of us have experienced this. This ruchi, meaning that, like now, like you were already in Kirtan, right? And then you wanted to hear Bhagavad Gita, right? And Krishna made such an arrangement for you that you met somebody appropriate so that you feel you haven't wasted that 45 minutes, right? So you were speaking to that boy and you gave him Prabhupada's book. So this is Ruchi.
I found it very, very interesting that Ruchi means that you're so absorbed in it that you don't feel the trouble of doing it only.
Yes.
And Mataji, you had only shared with us when you were teaching Madhurya Kandarmani that Nishtha stage is very troublesome. It is very long.
Yeah.
It is very, very long. It goes almost till the end of Bhav. And you struggle and struggle and struggle. in
Yeah,
that.
anartha nivritti.
Yes, anartha.
Maybe from to reach nishtha in between the anarthas. So the anarthas, you know, so the anarthas is what's holding us back.
नाहि देहभृतः साख्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माणि अशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी स त्यागिति अधिधीयते. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. Purport. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that one can never give up work at any time. Therefore, he who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually an announcer. There are many members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office or in the factory or some other place, and whatever they earn, they give it to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated on the renounced order of life. It is clearly outlined here how to renounce the fruits of work and for what purpose fruits should be renounced.
Yes, so that's clear, right? That's clear? Right. Text 12. Anishtam ishtam mishrim cha vividham karmana phalam bhavatya bhavatya pretya nate sannyasinam kvachit. To one who is not renounced the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. So now, see, this is about karma, right? This is karma. Everybody is suffering, you know. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, you know, trividham karmana phalam, karma phalam. You understand the Sanskrit, it's much easier. Bhavati atyaginam pretya. Oh my God, pretya means after death when you become a pret. Pretya. So, after death, we get desirable. We get what is not desired. And we get mixed. Desirable, undesirable, and mixed. Anishtam. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or, or enjoy. So meaning that a person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore, he doesn't have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after death. This is so wonderful. If your entire life you're engaged in devotional service, and you are just giving the result to Krishna, even though you may have some karma due to desirable, undesirable, and mixed, but because you are working for Krishna, these are completely nullified. Meaning you have no karma at all. See, when we do devotional service, anyone, doesn't matter who we are. There's something like this anartha, right? I mean, anartha, they say is that your dark shadow, your path purush, right? Everybody's got their shadow. The body of anartha. That soul has a body of anartha, right? And therefore we get desirable, undesirable, and mixed. But those who are renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy, but they're always liberated. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore, he doesn't have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after death. Understand this? See this Bhagavad Gita. In time of emergency, in the time of crisis, Bhagavad Gita will take a completely different meaning for you, isn't it? Like, otherwise, it's just like general knowledge. But when something specific, like something very specific, like, see, all of us were worried about karma. Arjuna is worried about karma. So that's why so much discussion, isn't it? Hmm? So now Krishna is saying that if you are in renounced order, meaning you are sannyas, you are sannyas, and you have renounced the karma phal, you are not subjected to either desirable, undesirable, or mixed result of karma. Zero karma. Panchayatani mahabahu karanani nibodhate sankhye kritante puttani siddhaye sarva paramanam. O mighty Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 poses for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of this from me. So I think we should stop here because this is another section that's starting. It take quite a lot of time. All right, so at least we have stopped in a proper place because we want to understand karma, how it works. And here the reassurance from Krishna that if you are working in knowledge of your relationship with Krishna, you're always liberated. Liberated from what? From sinful reactions. Therefore, he doesn't have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after death. Enjoy meaning that you want for your own selfish enjoyment. You want, like, see, everybody gets some good things in life and some bad things in life. So when you get something good, then you want to enjoy. If you get more money, then you want to enjoy. Right. All right, so let us stop here. Panchakalpataru Hischa, Kripasam Yagela Chakapitalam,
Mataji, the last line here, which you reiterated, a person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. That means in every situation, I have to think I am a servant of Krishna.
You should know that, our constitutional position is to serve Krishna. Each and everything that I'm doing, it has to be that I want to serve. Like our Guru Maharajas. I always take the example because they're the best. Right? The best example. So even though there may be some difficulties in their life, physical, mental, emotional, whatever, doesn't matter at all. Krishna is giving this guarantee here, isn't it? But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. They're absolutely free from the results of work. Karma, they have no karma. So, whatever we see, actually, whoever takes birth must be having something that bring them to take birth, otherwise they won't be here unless they are liberated souls. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, But generally, there is some mixture, right? But when they're in this life, if it's visible that they entirely engage in devotional service, their own desires, which may be troubling them, these have no effect. Right? according to this verse, right? It has no effect. This is Krishna's assurance. That's what he's telling Arjuna. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. I don't know how many wives he has, how many enemies he has, right? Kam, Krodh, Moha, Matsarya, Mad, everything in that Mahabharata is given. But here Krishna is saying, you do it for me. You work for me. Right? So then that other part of us, which like we're carrying our own anarthas, that drops off at the time of death. And we attain Krishna.
And Mataji, once I had also heard in this lecture, and it's not that a pure devotee does not have desires, but he knows how to control his desires. So, like you're saying right now, that at the time of death, the anartha body drops away. It means that all those desires which were for self, they drop.
Yeah, they control, but sometimes they may also go out of control, Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, sometimes they may just go out of control. But because this person, this devotee, is connected with Krishna, all right, Sambandh is established. Krishna doesn't look at all the dirt, right? Example is given when the mother is cleaning the child, right? She's not looking at the dirt. She only knows that this is my child. See, everybody is, at the end of the day, mercy is required. Everybody is a mercy case. Here, Krishna is saying, you do your best. You just work for me. You do your best. But even if there are, some anartha, don't worry about it. For one who is not renounced the threefold misery of action, desirable and undesirable mixed, accrue after death. So you take birth, right? But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Always liberated. Even though they may have, their shadow, the anarthas, we call it, in our Sanskrit language. In other language, we call the shadow self. Right? What we have, those dirty samskara that we have accrued. When we read Bhagavatam, we see how even Dhruva Maharaj, right? Even Prahlad Maharaj, when they're already devotees, but when they came in touch with Vishnu personally, that's when the anarthas actually went away. So the full practice is there. The full practice is there. But until we come face to face with Krishna, it doesn't completely go away. So we found that at the time of death of Dhruva Maharaj, this is when actually all anarthas were removed. See, otherwise we'll die, all of us. We are so fragile, right? Any time we may exhibit our anartha for the world to see, right? Everybody thinks you're so good, so nice. And then you don't know when you really show your dirty anartha. The whole world will look at you and criticize you, isn't it? But here, Krishna is saying that if you are 100% engaged in devotional service, you will not take birth again. He is always liberated, therefore he doesn't have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after death. Such a wonderful verse. Krishna is assuring Arjuna, don't worry, you fight for me. You work for me. Even though you have so many other desires. All right, we can end. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhu eva cha patitanaha. Krishna.